we should just get started, and I'd like to say hello to you this morning, to Susanne Schöllhorn, Project Manager, Postpress Alliance. It's wonderful to have you here today. I hope you're doing well after 11 days of the fair. And this is not your first drupa. You've been here before.
Yes, I've definitely been here before. I started my time at drupa at 1990. But let me say thank you for having me here. Thank you, Emily.
It's a great pleasure.
Yeah, it has been a stressful time, obviously, during the last 11 days. But it's exciting to see drupa after 8 years that we haven't been here, and to enjoy the industry and all this smell of the industry, the paper, touch it, touch the machines, see people from all continents. That has been really exciting to me.
You said 1990 was your first drupa, so this is your 8th drupa, you told me before. Yes. Do you remember the first time you set foot here on the trade fair grounds?
Yes, it was very impressive at that time already, because I don't even remember whether it has been that big, because sometimes when you look back it looks like maybe you had a different view or perspective to the industry, but it has been very impressive. It was my first. I was really just coming out of school and at university still, and actually I remember these huge booths of the big players at that time, but obviously this time being part of the Postpress Alliance is a different thing again.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about the Postpress Alliance. You were also head of marketing for Schöllhorn, but you were also project manager for Postpress Alliance. Maybe you can give our viewers an insight on what exactly the Postpress Alliance is.
Yes, obviously, yes. I'm glad to say that the Postpress Alliance actually wanted to already start this joint presence at a trade fair in 2020 for drupa 2020. So we started cooperating between the companies that we already cooperated in the past with, like Baumann, Perfecta, and MBO, H&H, Bograma, Wallenberg. And Schöllhorn obviously as well has been always involved. And we thought that it's nice to not act against each other, but just join all the forces and put everything together and cooperate rather than work against each other. So I think the real meaning behind that is just appear as partners, but we are independent, because this is also one of the questions I'm very often asked. We are still independent companies, but they are all complementary. None of them is competing against the other. So.
Better together is your motto, and together you bring 450 years of experience. I just wanted to ask, actually, is there no competitiveness? I mean, of course, it's a great thing, but is there no competitiveness, or how do you get that out of the system?
No, it's not. And as a matter of fact, I just brought a couple of brochures. It's explaining exactly where we are. We have the entire workflow on one booth. We start with cutting, we go to folding, we have pharma folding, we have perfect binding, we've got stitching, we've got die cutting, we've got label processes, and even waste management. So we've got everything on one booth, and as you just hear from the different core competencies, it's nothing that competes against each other. So all companies involved are somehow in the workflow, integrated in the workflow, and we kind of show a little factory on our booth around this hospitality zone. And yeah, also the color that we choose for the Postpress Alliance, which is turquoise color.
You're wearing today perfect,
yes, yeah. It is a color that reflects harmony, and I think for that reason also it's the right color for this joint action.
In a global world, it's so important to bring competences together. What would you say are the main things that make this a good thing, that you have the competences together? I mean, you've already kind of talked about it, but give us a bit more insight on that, please.
Yeah, first of all, definitely at the show we can show the entire workflow, but also I think looking at the customers, the aim is always to find solutions to customers. And the biggest aim we've got is to deliver solutions rather than machines. It's all machinery building in the end. It's robotics, it's automation, everything is important in that concept. But we feel that today it's not one machine, it's the full concept, because people want to have, with the connectivity subjects, they want to have the entire workflow integrated in a management information system. They want to see everything build up in a way that they can really see the efficiency of their lines. And as such, working together as partners with open devices and open tools. I think that brings people together and also seems to be the right approach to the market, because we've seen many customers really excited about this concept, and we could hand them over the booth from one company to the other. So we use the synergies. We've got also the same dealer networks in some areas, not everywhere, but in most countries we use same dealerships, and so that works.
So you can tell you're really excited about it. The Postpress Alliance is really excited about it, and you just kind of talked a little bit about the clients. Tell me about the quality of the clients at the drupa, and tell me about the reactions you've had to your alliance.
That's an interesting point, because we talked yesterday in the management board of the Postpress Alliance a bit about that, and we all felt like, yeah, maybe if you look at the number of visitors, sometimes it might seem that if we look back to the old drupas, there was so much crowds in the aisles, but the quality was maybe not as it has been this time. I have the feel that, and also the entire management board had the feeling that the quality of the visitors is much higher. Has been really good visitors, decision takers, rather than maybe people that were just walking around. We love them as well when you see young kids that are out for reaching out for gadgets and giveaways. But in the end, what counts is obviously to make new contacts and reach new customers and markets. And we can say that the quality of visitors from all over the world has been quite exciting. We've seen a lot, depending on the process we are talking about in our booth. We've seen a lot, obviously, more from the Indian continent. Mm-hmm. Also, we've seen a lot of Americans, which maybe was not the case, but it has to deal with the exchange rate, of course. The American continent has been much more dominant than before.
Well, we all know drupa is an absolutely international trade fair where everyone comes, all the big players are here, even also the small players, to get together to talk about what the industry is discussing. It's great to have you here today. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're very, very busy. All the best, and we hope, and I'm sure we're going to see you at the next drupa. But first, for your last day, have a good day, and then I hope you have time to relax afterwards. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Emily.
It's been great.
It has been
and we